Hello friends, today we are going to see the EVS lesson and lesson name is where does water come from. Okay, in this lesson we are going to see about the water resources and all those things. So let us start the lesson. In this first point is sources of water. Whatever water you will see on the earth, in that area it gets accumulated or collected with only one form, that is rain. So the main source of water on the earth is rain. Whatever water in the different sources of water, whatever water you will see, that all get collected due to the rain. So rain is the main source of water. So sources of water we can say two types. We can divide it into two types. One is surface water and second is underground water. So what is mean by surface water? Surface water means it is present on the flat surface, and underground water, whenever it rains, some amount of water seeps into the ground and it stores under the ground. So that water is called as underground water. So in this way you can divide the sources of water into two types. One is surface water, second is underground water. Now here you can see the different examples of sources of water. Rain which is the main source of water, well, tap, river, stream, lake. These are some examples of sources of water. Now see natural sources of water: ocean, ponds, rivers, lakes, streams. See why this is called as natural sources of water. In these sources of water, again we can say natural sources and man-made sources. Natural sources means which are available naturally in the environment. That sources we call as natural sources. And the sources which are made by persons, made by people, that sources we call as man-made sources. Okay, so these all river, ponds, lakes, stream, oceans, these are not man-made, these are made naturally available in the environment. So these are the examples of natural sources of water. Now as we have seen the two types, surface water and underground water, so one by one let us see. First is surface water. As I told you that surface water means the water which is present on the surface of the earth. Now which are the example of this? River, lake, pond, sea, ocean, dam. These are the examples of surface water sources. Okay, in this river, lake, pond, sea, ocean, these are the natural sources, and dam we can't found it naturally, it is man-made. So let us see. Now one by one I will describe it. First is lake. Some water collects in low-lying areas to form lakes. See, everywhere we can see the earth or surface of the earth. Everywhere it is not flat, somewhere it is high, somewhere it is low. So what happens, the places where the surface is low lying means little bit lying down, and in that place when it rains, at that time water gets collect, and in that areas such lakes will form. So that is the lakes. And ponds are smaller than the lakes are bigger and ponds are smaller. Now next is dam. As I told you that dam is not natural source, dam is man-made. So what is dam? A flowing river is sometimes blocked by building a wall. This is called dam. Now suppose I will give you our example. In our Nanded district, there is a Nanded district is situated on Godavari river. So whatever water is present in this river, it blocked by one dam, that is Vishnupuri dam. So whatever water is present in the river, it should not go away, it should not flows away. So the wall built over that water, so that wall is called as dam. So why should build the dam? To block the water. Okay, to block the path of the water. That water should stay there only, it should not flows away, it should not go front. So whatever water is stored in that dam, we can use it afterwards. When it doesn't rain, water from the dam can be used. Whenever there is shortage of water due to the drought or due to the lack of rain, at that time you can use the water which is stored in the dam. Okay, now this we have seen about the surface water. Now some examples of underground water: well, borewell, hand pumps, springs, etc. These are the examples of underground water. So let us see one by one. Some rainwater seeps into the ground. It can be obtained by digging wells using hand pumps and bore wells. See, well is also not natural source of water. It is built by man. It is man-made source. So for building the well, what you have to do? We have to dig the land, and then we can build the well for the water. Bore well, hand pumps. So from this underground water will come up and we can use it. These are the sources of the underground water. Sometimes underground water comes out in the form of springs. Okay, spring is also one of the example of underground water. When suddenly the water comes out of the ground, we can say that there is a spring. Now here we can see the how rivers will form. Rain also falls on high places like mountains. This rainwater flows downhill. Numerous rivulets of water flowing downhill join together to form a river. See, rains will form on the mountains, and whatever water will present on that mountains, it flows down. With that water, remaining small resources of water like as rivulets and all joins in that rain, and in this way river will form. Okay, in this way rivers will form, and it goes next is it goes forward. Now again, springs. How the springs comes from? See, rainwater seeps into the ground. It seeps deep into the ground through cracks in the soil and rocks. Even under the ground, it flows from higher level to lower level. This groundwater comes out of the ground in some places. This is what we call a spring. See, you can see in the picture also. So some of the water, as I told you, surface water and underground water, some water seeps into the ground, and sometimes this water, and always the water flows from higher level to lower level, and sometimes what happens, this water suddenly comes above the ground, and at that place we can say that springs have formed. Okay, this is about the spring. Now we have seen how rivers will form, how springs will form. Once again I will repeat. Rivers will form, whatever rain will fall on the mountains, it flows down, and so small rivulets join to that water, and in this way river will form, and the water seeps in the ground, and sometime it comes above the earth, and we can say that spring have formed. Now water bodies and landforms. Flowing water and stored water are examples of water bodies. Springs, streams, rivers, lakes, reservoirs, creeks, seas, and oceans are all water bodies. Water bodies means where the water is present, in which sources the water is present, that are called as the water bodies. Different water bodies we have seen, like as rivers, streams, creeks, springs, and seas and ocean and all. Okay, landform. Due to the high and low level of land at different places. Land gets different form: mountains, peaks, hills, hillocks, plateau, plain, passes and valleys are some of the landforms. See, as I told you, land is not same everywhere. It is not flat everywhere. Somewhere it is high, somewhere it is low. So due to this high and low level of the lands, these different landforms has formed. For example, mountains, peaks, hills, plateaus, plains. Plains means flat surface and valleys means the place between two mountains, that is called as valley. So in this way water bodies and landforms have formed. So this is the information about the sources of water and